All right. We are back. Halftime reaction show. I guess, again, I did this all last year where I forget the entire name. The A to Z Sports Big Orange Game Day Halftime Reaction Show. I am Charlie Burris. That is former Vols quarterback Jonathan Crompton, I guess digitally sitting across from me here. And we are going to talk about Tennessee 38, Ball State 0. It is an absolute steamrolling. We'll get into it. But first, we got to give a huge thank you to all of our amazing sponsors. We got plenty this year. The good folks helping out the show here. Farm Bureau Health Plans. Farm Bureau Health Plans is a corporate sponsor of the Vols, and they have been serving Tennesseans for 75 years. Plan on us for health, dental, and vision at fbhp.com/ATOZ. Farm Bureau Health Plans. Then we got Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com and type keyword balls in the search bar to fill your freezer with enough gourmet food to keep your cookouts going strong into the fall. And then finally, Rattle and Snap Tennessee whiskey from Log Still Distillery. Make your own luck, just like Tennessee's fast-paced Rattle and Snap offense with Rattle and Snap Tennessee whiskey. Thank you again to all of our sponsors. Let's get to it. Cromp, it has been too long. What's up, man?
What's up? That was flawless right there to open us up. I love it.
It's been a while.
It's like we did it last week.
I know. We ever since we got those sponsors, especially like the whiskey sponsor, they're like sending us whiskey that we're going to be able to have in the next couple weeks. Dude, I'm so excited. They're being too good to us. So I had to practice before this.
I love it.
But 38-0. Tennessee just steamrolling Ball State. Even more. I mean, I believe the spread to this game was 36, like 35.5, something like that going into this game. People were predicting a total blowout, except for I saw what's the guy, Jason Whitlock. He used to be on ESPN. He's a Ball State grad. He predicted that Tennessee would lose to Ball State. His prediction's not looking so hot. I will say that. But just your initial reaction. It's the first half of Tennessee's opening game. What'd you think?
I mean, we looked solid. Honestly, I like the ballsy call by Ball State right off the bat, poorly blocked to go reverse flea flicker, right? I mean, because here's the thing. Let's call a spade here. We know, they know, we outmatch them automatically, and that's fine. That's what happens early in the year. So I like that play call. Kudos to us for making them not block very well and making a play, right? To start the season, first play of an interception, first play of offense, phenomenal job by Jalen Hyde on the wheel route. It's an option wheel. And what that means is he's running an out and up, but if the corner does what they did and they go over top and bail and beat you deep, you're going to stop at around 15. And it just turns into an actual stop route. So good job by Hendon and him reading that on the first play of the season and open up with a touchdown, because I would be curious if it's ever happened when Tennessee started first play interception, first play touchdown.
I mean, was that not like the Josh hype list start?
100%. 100%.
Because everybody, I was listening to our A to Z pick show earlier today. Great folks over there, Alan Bell and Brian Edwards. Go listen to their show. But they were talking about the first quarter spread was 9.5 for Tennessee. Tennessee easily covered that. They almost covered it in 23 seconds with the touchdown. And they were just talking about the crazy fast beginnings that Tennessee had last season. And this was it to an absolute T to the nth degree. I mean, this was just insane how quick off the jump this was. And yeah, I admire Ball State. They went for it. Who cares? And then they the fourth down call right after. You're going to lose. You know that. And they just are going for it. But
and on their coaches, like on their side, what they're thinking is, I don't know who they play next week, but whoever they play, now you got a game plan for this stuff. Like, they know that they're outmatched. They know that the reality is of them winning, it's a money game for a reason. They're probably not going to win, blah, 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 right? They know that. So go balls to the wall. Do the, Lane Kiffin has to go for it on every fourth down unless it's 4th and 15. To
Yeah.
show whoever you're playing next week, you have to prepare for all this stuff, whether we're going to do it or not. So I like that by them, and especially love the first play, their thought process. But I love our execution.
Do you agree with this comment right here? And I'll just say, anybody, if you want to comment, we're gonna sort of, as much as we can, take a look and respond to the comments on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you may be watching. But Charlie Arp says, we're winning 38-0 and we didn't play well. Do you agree Tennessee's not playing that well in this game so far?
Well, no, we're playing well, but we're not playing 100%. It's game one. You always know there's going to be those, first game jitters. Hadn't played at home in a long time, right? The hype around the new party deck, new Jumbotron area, all that stuff, right? There's a lot of stuff going into this game. Luckily, we were smart enough to schedule Ball State rather than essentially Pitt, right? Like, that's the reality. So Kudos to our administration for doing that. We're never going to play 100% clean game. That's football. But we're playing well enough in this moment. The coaches, I hate to say it, go back. I'm going back to the TV and just seeing when things are coming on, and it was Nick Saban randomly, okay? Go back to when Nick Saban was at Michigan State. They lost a game, and he was more happy than when they won. He goes, now I have things we can work on.
Yeah.
The mindset of high-level coaches, which I think we have, is you always want to win. You never go into a game wanting to lose. That's not the mentality. But you always want to have stuff to work on. But the biggest comment that I'm seeing right now is, and these people are right, we're missing too many easy throws. And this is where I'm going to disagree with Jordan Rodgers about the base of the quarterback. Jordan's trying to say, oh, he gets too wide and he's narrowing his base. Well, no, actually, they've never worked at the University of Tennessee under Josh Heupel staying anything outside of shoulder width or even getting to shoulder width as their base. That is a negative in a lot of senses because now when your feet are inside your shoulders do a lot of tilting. So watch Hendon when he throws, when it's anything like 8 and under, his shoulders are very level. As soon as you start getting to 10, his shoulders start tilting because of his feet and his hips automatically go with his shoulders. So that is a contradiction that I'm going to have with Jordan Rodgers on the mechanics of throwing a football. But that's what they teach. So Hendon has to do that. If you go back and look at him at Virginia Tech, he didn't have that base that was really narrow, right? So that's a I'm going to say a flaw, but it's not a negative. It's just a different throwing motion than what a lot of people use.
Always good to dunk on Jordan Rodgers too. Let's not forget that. It needs to be done. The man has too much of an ego.
Well, he called Ball State's running back a cheese stick. He compared him to a cheese stick. Dude, just
what are you doing? Get this man off TV.
I just looked at my wife and I was like, he just called this dude a not good looking cheese stick when it comes out, but then it's better than you thought it was. Just like an ultimate slap in the face to a kid that's playing actually pretty well.
Yeah, he's playing tough. I mean, I even texted some friends in a group text here in that first half. I said when the twos come in for Tennessee, that kid's tough to bring down. I could see them scoring in that second half. They almost did right there at the end without that weird little touchback that they had. But it's been so in the comments here. There's been a lot of comments like this from Evan White. He says, not to be overly critical, but I see a lot of room for improvement. And it's been defense doesn't look clean, which Greg Stewart says. Levi Simpson says Warren Burrell has to go. Eric Garst said no pressure on the QB whatsoever. So plenty of criticisms despite the 38-0 score.
I'll come back to those real fast. I think that's our game plan because we don't want to give too much away going into Pitt next week because we know we're going to outmatch them. Notice our corners are not playing press or really inside of 5 yards very often on purpose.
Yeah.
We've ran the same play offensively like 9 times. It's the post with a will option. You don't want to show too much because you know you're going to win, especially at this point. So play very vanilla. It's not trying to play, you don't want to play scared and don't play to lose. We want a goose egg. We want a shutout 100%. But we don't want to show too much against Pitt or for Pitt to watch next week.
Yeah.
That's just the reality.
It's a real opportunity to kind of almost rest in effect. And then Pitt right now is in the middle of a really tough game against West Virginia.
And now I'm not going to sit here and say that I agree with that approach, so to speak. I don't like seeing our corners play 12 yards off and just giving them an 8-yard, like 8 under, like hitch and stop routes. That annoys me. But that you can tell that's their game plan right now.
Yeah.
That's just I don't agree with it, because if they wanted to throw hitch after hitch after hitch, they could do that up and down the field, because we're not pressing. We'll randomly play a cover 2 look, but we're not doing a lot. But I did expect our D-line to get a little more pressure than they're getting.
Well, hold that thought. Okay. Hold that thought. So in the last half of the halftime reaction show here, we'll talk about the biggest change Tennessee needs to make in this second half. Clearly, people got thoughts. That is without a doubt. And the biggest change Tennessee needs to make in the second half is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Omaha! Just like Peyton used to say, summer is ending, and it doesn't need to be the end of your grill season. Visit omahasteaks.com and enter keyword Vols into the search bar to order the All-American Assortment today. The All-American Assortment has mouth-watering items from butcher-cut filet mignons to caramel apple tartlets. I'm getting hungry as I say this. If I'm being honest, I didn't have a huge dinner myself, so that's great. For a limited time, and as a special gift to our listeners, when you type Vols into the search bar, you'll get 12 ultra juicy Omaha steak burgers for free with your order. But if the All-American Assortment doesn't have what you're looking for, you also have an option on our page to build your own perfect menu. Simply pick your favorite items out of the options provided and create your own grilling adventure. And the best part is that also comes with 12 free Omaha steak burgers. It's an unbelievable deal. Visit omahasteaks.com and type keyword Vols in the search bar and fill your freezer with enough gourmet food to keep your cookouts going strong into the fall. That is omahasteaks.com. Help them out because they're helping us out. Omaha Steaks. Will, I believe that's another one. I said we're going to be getting whiskey from one of our sponsors, and I believe Omaha Steaks is going to be hooking us up with some steaks, Cromp. So we're going to be living the high life over here on the A to Z Sports Big Orange halftime reaction show.
Might get the meat sweats.
Yeah. You'll just see us next week on here with steak on a fork. But biggest change for this second half, if we can give this a cute little name, we'll call it the Omaha Steaks Audible. Omaha! They were calling the Audible. What does Tennessee need to change in this second half? When you look at it, obviously, like I said, plenty of people pointing out missed throws by Hooker. Defensive line is looking a little underwhelming. Where do they need to go to improve?
Honestly, I would say secondary, in the sense of I'm looking at the stats. First play. That's awesome. Outside of that, he's 16 of 24 for 157. So if you go by that, he's on pace for a 300-yard ball game. We should not be giving up 300 yards to Ball State.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in that sense.
Yeah.
And now, like I said, I understand it's more than likely the game plan to play off, blah, 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 blah. But he's having too much time to take a big 3 or a quick 5 and just step into some 14-yard dig routes that I would assume our D-line would be able to get a little more pressure and make it more of an uncomfortable pocket than it's been. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been too many times. Now, credit to them for play calling. They're getting the ball out quick sometimes, so it's keeping us off track. But we do the same thing on our offense. We go so quick that you can't get a beat on us. So we're going against our offense every day. We should be more prepared for that type of stuff, is I guess what I'm getting at. So I'm not concerned by any means. That's not what I'm getting at. But when we face a team with a little more talent out wide and a little more playmaking ability, that might make me a little more nervous.
I just realized I needed to make my own improvement there. I forgot to put up the sweet graphic that Omaha Steaks gave us. Keyword Vols for 12 free burgers. So we're just going to leave it up for the rest of this segment here. There, since I forgot during the read to put that up. So Omaha Steaks, thank you. I agree. I mean, it's so hard to judge anything from a game like against Ball State. It's just set up to be a snoozer. Like it is what it is. So you don't know how much you should take. What are they holding back? What are we not seeing? You also have, I think, of the defense Juwan Mitchell, who a lot of people were assuming could start at the linebacker position, sharing reps with Beasley and those guys. Beasley looked good in that first half, or better than he did last season at the very least. But you have some factors like that. I think, honestly, that Juwan Mitchell situation is very strange because there was a lot of talk about how he had a nice camp. He was listed on the depth chart, and then he's sitting for this first game. I mean, I don't know if somebody has seen something on message boards or anything where they might be the situation there, but
yeah, I don't know.
Is there, I mean, are there situations where like they would hold a guy back to save him? He dealt with injury last year. Are they saving him for next week? I don't know.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, you could say yes, you could, but the harsh reality is you probably wouldn't, because
exactly,
even though you're favored in this and that and blah, 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 you still got to play the game. App State still beat Michigan, right? You know what I'm like?
Yeah.
North Dakota State would probably beat a couple FBS teams.
I mean, getting up by 38 and holding and then giving a vanilla look makes tons of sense. But holding out one of your top players on defense,
I don't think that's what it is, but that's just me.
Yeah. So there's kind of the take there. If anybody's wondering about or has heard anything, drop it in the comments. And I haven't seen anything or heard anything myself. It's odd, but yeah, I completely agree. There's a lot to improve on. I mean, Hooker, you can say he doesn't look sharp. Also, he's putting
efficient.
Up insane numbers.
I mean, he's 17 to 23 for 211 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to say?
He's 74%. Now, once again, we're not asking him to throw a whole lot right now.
Yeah,
we're doing that on purpose offensively. What I've liked is to see Small put his head down in short yardage situations.
Yeah,
I did not like the last. I think it was our last 4th and 1. We went a tight bunch set to the field.
He almost didn't make it,
but we had nobody. It was blatantly obvious they were going to bring the outside backer from the boundary, and nobody blocked him. And thank God we fell forward for that extra 6 inches.
I mean,
he almost made a 4th down play, the outside backer. We didn't have anybody to block him. So that's the pro and con of playing in a shotgun, like 100% shotgun offense.
I mean, that was almost definitely my biggest criticism from last year, just in short yardage situations. It makes me cringe to see short yardage and you set up in the shotgun. You just go, why are you making it hard on yourself? Why are you adding 5 yards to your predicament? That's dumb.
They do that because look at us on the goal line. He's 3 rushing attempts for 3 yards and 2 touchdowns. Because when you crash down hard enough, we're going to pull it. And in this type of offense, that's why, just to be honest.
I was hoping, I mean, they got in a much bigger back in Justin Williams-Thomas, and I was wondering if they might utilize him in short yardage, but he's fresh freshman. And so
honestly,
I don't.
Small has shown enough. You can tell he's put on weight.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't look like he's lost a step. You can tell he's put the work in. He looks like an every down back. He does.
Mm-hmm.
Right, coming in as a changeup, you can't be mad at him. So we got 19 carries and what is that? 89 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. Outside of that fumble, I mean,
so
yeah, it was all good. But I think the second half
they're about to kick right now.
Yeah, is about to start. I'm Charlie Burris. That is Jonathan Crompton. We'll be back for the post game. Don't miss it there. Thanks again to Omaha Steaks and all of our great sponsors. We'll be back in the post game to talk about whatever happens here. More of a beatdown. We'll see y'all then. And that's it. We'll see y'all then. Peace out.